Hey guys, so as promised, here's the recipe on how I make my delicious nuggets. Now, these nuggets can be paleo or can be just gluten-free, depending on the last batter. And as you can see, what I'm mixing here is eggs, so it's 2 eggs and 1 large spoon, so I have 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. You can skip the mayonnaise, but please, please, please do not swap it for yogurt. The taste will be changed. And that person behind me is my sous chef, my right hand, Anusha. Now, on this, the secret ingredient for me at least, for nuggets, apart from proper seasoning, it's paprika. That. So paprika gives it a nice, and it's not spicy. I use this sweet paprika and it's super not spicy and it's delicious. So basically I have chicken breasts that have been marinated for 2 days with some salt. This chicken that we have here is chicken breasts that have been marinated, I don't know if it's a marinade, it's actually not a marinade, that have been just with a little bit of paprika, a little bit of turmeric. I put turmeric on everything, it's my secret weapon. Garlic powder, onion powder, and salt. And that's it basically. So I left it there in the fridge. And now I'm gonna be adding to this some tapioca powder. And then we're gonna do, it's basically the same batter that you will do for everything and anything. It's just different ingredients. So let me show you now. So, what do we have here? We have our tapioca flour. And you could also use tapioca starch. Actually, in many ethnic cuisine things, like Thai and stuff, you find tapioca starch, which is like super cheap. This is not as cheap. This is like $10 versus like $1. So 30 something, 35 reals versus 3-4 reals. So it's good. And this part I don't put any seasoning, it's just the tapioca starch. And as you can see, I'm gonna put it here. So normally, like if it was a normal meal, you would use plain flour. Here we're gonna use this. And the beauty of tapioca flour is that it's actually, tapioca in general is a very good prebiotic, which means that it stays, the starch not so much, but tapioca in general has a lot of fiber, so it fuels and it feeds the good bacteria in our gut, and it helps with our digestion. So with your hands, you're just gonna put your beautiful chicken. And I have to say, you guys, if you could smell it, I mean, the chicken in the bag, the one that we are just cooking there, it has nothing. It's just basically chicken grill cooked in our new cast iron pans, and that's it. And the smell is insane. So these are gonna be really delicious chicken nuggets. So I'm just taking my chicken and I put it over here and making a little bit of a mess. And then what I do is that I just mix them well, and I use my hands for this because I think that it's just better. It's messy, but I like it. And I'm really seriously making a mess. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll be back in 1 second. What we do is very basic. We take the chicken that has been covered in tapioca starch and we pass it through our egg, mayonnaise, and spices mix. And then I go with my other step, which is in a Ziploc bag, in a large. What do I have in here? You have 3 options. You could go with a very simple polenta or corn flour. If you're not going paleo, you're only going gluten-free. You mix your polenta, and this is again where we add the spices, okay? So if you see it, you see it has some color. So what I did here is that if I'm making them gluten-free only, I will use polenta or any type of corn flour. You could even use gluten-free cornflakes. It works really well. When you use cornflake, it's a little bit more like panko. I think it's called panko. These breadcrumbs that are like thicker. If you don't go for that, because you wanted to keep it paleo, you could use coconut flour. In that case, make sure that you season it enough, because coconut flour has a sweeter taste and you don't want them to be super sweet, because then it's like a weird combo there. Or you could go, if you're going for a low carb version, you could do either coconut flour and skip, if you're doing keto, you have to skip the tapioca starch, or you could even go with something like pork rings or even Parmesan cheese mixed with the coconut flour. So it's really up to you. I have done it also with almond meal or pistachio. You can be really fancy if you want. This is basically some corn flour, the thick one, not the corn starch, but the polenta type corn flour, mixed with paprika, some spices, smells delicious. And then I added also some flaxseed, and I like to also the corn is not the most nutritional ingredient in the world, so you could add even some flaxseed. The world is your oyster. As long as you season everything well, it's gonna be fantastic, I promise you. And if you like it spicy, my recommendation would be to add the spicy part a little bit on the eggy and then here. And you can even add some crystal salt instead of just make it the thin one, make it a little bit bigger, so that when it cooks, you're gonna have certainly that bite of, that nice texture of the salt, which is fantastic. And now basically what we go is that we have the baggie that I have used several times because I do like to reuse my baggies. And then in goes the chicken into the baggie, and then you shake it. Shake, shake, shake. So, and then I do another squeeze. So what I do is that I do this, I close it, and then I go around to make sure that they're very nicely coated. And then when I grab them, I actually squash them a little more, just to make sure that they have the nice coat. And you end up with something that looks like this. And in our case, I am going to do them on the air fryer, but you can fry them naturally, or you can put them in the oven. If you're gonna put them in the oven, my recommendation always for baking things that are normally fried, especially things dry as chicken breast, is to coat them a little bit. Just brush them with some ghee or coconut oil, just to make them a little bit more softer and more juicy. And I'll show you guys later how they look after they come from the air fryer, which is the most fun part. So I put the nuggets, how we call them, 25 minutes. 25 minutes. This is how I cook. 25 minutes in. 25 minutes in the air fryer with some. I use some olive oil, and I put a little bit more salt, and this is how they look. And this is the chaos that I cook with, which is why I never have proper recipes. Because and the sauces that I'm gonna be sharing with you guys down, I'm just gonna give you the sauces because I cannot do anything else right now. So enjoy your nuggets. Yum!